Hey, here. I can get right here. There's a line underneath, all right here. Right there, yeah. Right up front.
We're at Hot Springs Off-Road Park, Hot Springs, Arkansas. Welcome to the Great American Crawl. Well, Andy thought, man, I'm gonna be cool like Nick and Gridlock. I'm gonna put 46s on my Jeep, and now he breaks things all the time.
Yeah, Hot Springs Off-Road Park is a lot of loose rock, and the rocks that aren't loose, they are slick. And there's water at the bottom of a lot of these obstacles, and the tires get wet, and that doesn't help you out at all.
Sometimes sounds like you're slashing a tire or you're just moving around. It's weird. But other than that, it's pretty slick. The rocks move around on you. You move around a lot too, so it's something to really look out for.
It definitely threw me for a loop a little bit because you see the rocks out here and you think, you know, we'd just gone to Katemsi Rocks and everything was super grippy, you know, no problem crawling stuff. Here, it's like a totally different world. There's like zero traction, everything moves. The course changes one Jeep after another, so it's different every time.
Sorry. I'm new here, guys. I haven't touched this thing in like a month.
That's a good icebreaker.
When this is wet, it's bad.
I bet. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what the minerals are here, but when you look at this park, if you'll look at the rocks, you'll see that there's different colors. There's some reds and there's some blacks. And when that stuff gets wet, it is just like glass. Several things that we was able to crawl this time when it's wet, it is just full horsepower, and you might still get denied and not ever make it.
What did I get myself into?
You doing that?
Like, we're not even an hour in. I guess, I'm in line, I guess, so.
We'll see.
So I think we're about 30 minutes in and I started overheating really bad. My relay on my fan kept kicking off.
So one of the main things with TJ's is that the fuel rail likes to vapor lock if it gets really hot under there.
Well, this is a new one for me.
And just wouldn't let the Jeep start up. So we had to wait for it to cool down, added some water on it. Yeah, I definitely got denied on that one. I tried pretty hard to try and go through that, and it didn't work. I tried it, bumped it a few times like you kind of need to do out here. That first obstacle got the better of me on that one.
Yeah, Vince.
Bailey's Boulders had Yeah, started out small, got big in a hurry.
All right, Jeff. Are you thinking with your head or with your nuts? What's going on here?
Right now I'm thinking with my head, and discretion's the better part of valor, but we'll see what these guys think. Maybe I'll think with my nuts here a minute. Yeah, Eddie, I don't know how long he's been here wheeling the park, but he knows the park like the back of his hand. Knew the lines, you know, got a good read on everything, where you got to go. He knew where guys had to put tires to make things happen. Yeah, just did a great job. Yeah. There we go.
I've been coming to Hot Springs, I guess, about 4 years now to this park.
Only 4?
Only 4. When I get a chance to come, it's for 3 or 4 or 5 days. I look at the map and I just start running trails, and that's what helps me learn the park as well as I know it.
The left side looked difficult. I wanted to put tires on it, thought I could pull through. You know, when it broke, I didn't know what it was at first. I heard a pop, didn't know what it was. I figured I got enough people standing around me. If there's a serious issue, somebody will let me know.
It's anti-rock. Yeah, it broke.
It's not the first time I've broken a sway bar in the back of a Gladiator. Just decided to back off of it, you know. Plenty of wheeling to do. You save your rig for the future. Back off, take a look at it, assess the situation, make repairs, move forward, enjoy the rest of the day.
No idea what happened, but I just slid off a little bit more than I would have wanted. So yeah, hooked up a winch to that, backed me down safely, and tried it again. And that second attempt just went right up on it.
Definitely powered me up through it. I will say, you know, typically I've been one to kind of crawl and pick the line. I found a little more throttle definitely helps it, and yeah, it sent it up there.
I just need like a piece of wire.
That's why we got a wiring kit.
We had to improvise a little bit. with that controller and with the relay situation that it has. So we just ended up getting a fusible link, fusible wire, or an inline fuse wire, and popped a fuse, 20 amp fuse in it, and then bypass that relay to just kick that fan on the entire time. So
basically fan on only mod, so that worked great. I just, you know, take it out when we're done with the day, but I left it in all day. It was no problem.
Well, it's just a little hill climb, guys. Just a little bit of a hill climb. So yeah, we tried this itty bitty hill climb and had a little bit of fun on it.
Everybody was kind of just lined up and, you know, waiting, and nobody knew what was at the top. So I ended up hitting the right side because there's two sides up the hill and they kind of merged together at the very end. I ended up going on the right side, and like I said, everything here was loose. It was one step forward, 2 steps back on that. I made it probably about 2/3 of the way up, and then I just couldn't dig anymore. I had to stop because there was another, I think Andy was in front of me.
Where's the traction?
I did get a little sideways. I don't run a front sway bar, so after the rear sway bar broke, the vehicle gets a little tippy. The right side may have had less traction, but the left side was by no means easier.
He just called me on the radio, and for Chris to say, I'm not in a good spot, that says a lot, so I shot past him.
Chris is gonna need a tuggy.
We were waiting for assistance, and we got that and then some. Wheel with your friends.
It was more of like a safety thing. If anything, he just backed down a little bit and then kind of readjusted, and he was fine. But yeah, definitely line choice on that one was a huge thing, because even if you were off by a couple inches, like you were lifting a tire and you may have gone over.
His rear diff's hitting. Yeah. I would just go on and shoot up around him.
I'm at the bottom, and I can see him, and I could tell that it didn't look good from my angle, but I'm all the way at the bottom.
That's a big hole up there. Whoa! No! No!
So I immediately threw it in gear, humped it on up the hill, like get up there, and everybody helps out. Everybody, we're getting winch lines out already, we're getting stuff. Group of people's there, getting everybody out of the Jeep. Luckily, everybody was safe, nobody got hurt. It was a nice slow rollover, so that was a plus, and it stayed right there on the hill. And anything right here, everything's a chance. You don't know. I mean, Ryan just got done putting that Jeep back together. Nice brand new paint, powder coat, and it's tore up. You just don't know, and that's the thing. So I was like, I'm not gonna take a chance. I took the other way, which you got to hug tree line, which everybody else went that way afterwards too. And the thing is we already soaked up enough time doing recovery and all that, and we need to move on. We have a whole group of people that wants to keep going, and we don't want no more accidents.
This is deadly out here. Yeah, you see that?
leaving, getting out of the park, heading towards the trail, and I look in my mirror and I see smoke. And I was like, the only person behind me is Diana and the USPS LJ. And I threw in reverse, backed up, and she's standing out with her hands up in the air. So what happened? The radiator blew up, which I've done several times. I'm pretty good at it. My own fault. I always forget to turn my switch on or something. I don't know what happened to hers, but we just hooked onto it. Pulled it back, sent everybody who was behind us on up, tell them to go on, just keep on rolling, we'll catch up.
She had a fan issue too, just like Ari did, but you know, hers was a little worse. So blew coolant all over the front, all over the top, even some in the cab. But I think everybody really enjoyed today. It was more moderate. It had a lot of good little crawls, which was enjoyable. Everybody was able to get through it okay.
I've led a lot of people on Ultimate Adventures. I've had the privilege of leading some veterans groups down here and different people, and I always start on Ultimate Adventure. The reason I love Ultimate Adventure, you can stay in the main part of the trail, your smaller rigs can make it, but it lets me run some of the offshoots, and then I can see the capabilities of the drivers, I can see the capabilities of the rigs, and then by the time we get through Ultimate Adventure, it gives me a feel of the type of rigs I have, and then from there I can choose another trail to go to.
Day 2 was a way better day for me. I was having a hard time on Friday, but Saturday I had a lot more fun. My locker was working. The trail we went on was Ultimate Adventure. We started out the day, and that one, it was just really cool because we don't have a lot of like natural obstacles like they have out here, and it's just crazy to see some of the rock formations and, you know, something that looks like you shouldn't be going on and you are. It was just really a fun trail. I think it was like a perfect trail to do because everyone had a really good pace. We were getting through. It was difficult, but not too difficult to where, you know, you're getting hung up and stuck for hours. So that one was really fun.
Logan did great. Yeah, he's the one that drove through Four Fingers. Logan had a great time. I spotted him a couple spots here and there, and he really did well. Kind of knew where to place it. He's had a little bit of seat time in the Jeep, getting some more experience in the tougher obstacles. There again, no carnage, no damage. He just got the right wheel placement, climbed up through, carried momentum when he had to. Logan did a great job.
Yeah, Logan.
Just a few tailgates here.
Just a couple tailgates. Are you shopping?
If I need, you know, they look like they might be usable yet. Kind of bang them out a little bit, polish them up, they'd fit.
And then that one has a pretty nice like boulder climb with some nice step ups in it. Yeah, that was a nice fun beginning to the day.
Nick says that he wanted to meet up at Concrete Hill, and okay, I've never been here, we don't know.
You're supposed to drive up that? Like, someone's supposed to put their vehicle up that thing? Like, it looked like a vertical wall. I don't know how many degrees it was, but it looked nearly vertical.
And after Nick looked at it for a good while, he decided he wanted to try it.
And it's not only steep, but it's also like really off camber too. So you got the best of everything on that one. You got to bump it too, because it's slick, because, you know, why wouldn't it be? And yeah, it's just a gnarly climb.
I had a bad feeling about it. I don't know if it was just because of the obstacle itself or because of Nick. He was doing really well at first, but I don't know. I didn't think he was gonna get as far as he did, to be honest with you, because Gridlock's just really heavy.
And Nick got on there, and he started beating on it pretty good. And we had noticed there were some noises coming from underneath. Further inspection, we found out that he had a CV that was letting go on the rear drive shaft.
Joint. The CV. It's brand new definitely. I don't care.
Of course, Nick style, he's gonna run it till it breaks.
In there and I got situated and I found my line. I rolled up on it a couple times and then I gave it the send. And it took a send to get up onto where I needed to be, and then I had to kind of work it over.
And that third bounce, he just hooked and went. Got halfway, about halfway to 3/4 up.
And he gets going, and you can see the trail of transmission fluid behind him. And all of a sudden you hear fire, and everybody scrambles.
And I looked down at my floorboard, and I have drain plugs, and I could see fire coming through the drain plugs at my feet. And I knew it obviously wasn't good.
But the funny thing is that everybody was like, boom, 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 on the money. They're grabbing fire extinguishers, and the hill's steep. And I mean, you're hanging on trees, standing on the side of the hill. So everybody's throwing fire extinguishers to the next person, to the next person, you know, and they get them all up there.
It's right here. I can see it. There you go. This is the tour right now. We're out. Grab that stair. Grab the stair. Hey, something. Water. Anything. How do you use this thing? Let me see it. Hey, water. Water. Oh. No one else got more? Hey, here. I can get right here. There's a line underneath, all right here. Right there, yeah. It's right up front. Up front. Hey, go get the one right there. Hurry, get it.
Here, watch out. He's coming up with a fire extinguisher.
Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Got more? I think we got it. We got it. Don't say you got it. Hopefully. Keep bringing more. I found your line down there.
We're good.
I've never been in the situation to have to use it, but I was pretty stoked to have the quick release from Scotia. I've had this thing in there for 1.5 years, and I've always looked at it to make sure that my gauge is reading good and everything's fine, but I never needed it, you know, until today.
Glad we got that one under control. Could have been a lot worse. You don't want to pick up burnt pieces from inside of a trail.
That cardone joint that had blown apart had created a shock impact on my transmission, which blew out my freeze plug. And as soon as that popped out, it just dumped transmission fluid onto my exhaust. As soon as it dropped on that, it just erupted in fire. And then that was actually what was on fire, not the Jeep. The Patriot liner I thought was going to be toast, but it really didn't burn, which was really cool. I think if that would have been paint or something other than that, it'd be a whole different situation, because that thing ran for a good 30, 45 seconds, that fire did.
Paper, scissors.
There, fixed. All better.
That was a long winching session. Long winching session. He had every bit of rope he had out, all the way up to the tree, because he couldn't start it.
Now, the good thing is, Concrete Hill is just the very bottom of it that is so bad. So you can drive into the top. I would advise that is one of those climbs. As you'll see, it's even hard to run up that hill. So that is one that is best to at least get some of your partners, some of your people that's riding with you, to at least walk up ahead.
So we had to have Jeff VANDE come down and hook up. He's on 40-inch Mickey Thompsons. It's a well-built and really capable rig, but it's not heavy. It's not an adequate anchor for gridlock. So we had Mike's vehicle, his diesel JL, quite a bit heavier. Great American Towing Service. And between the two of them, we got him winched up the rest of the way, and the two of them pulled him off the trail.
Back and forth, finally got it. Big long recovery effort. That was, I think, about an hour and a half of our afternoon was getting him recovered safely.
I think after he hit it, nobody else wanted to hit it because it was nasty.
Man, I can smell the food cooking, and I am starving. Andy's up there running the flat top, I think cooking us some smash burgers. So I'm looking forward to some good grub.
We've got a great crowd up there, and it's good to see everyone. That gives everybody, after the day, you know, you want to sit, it's like going and sitting around a campfire and talking about all this stuff you've done all day, you know, so everybody gets to sit around and talk and everything. It's good.
I love the park. It's super pretty, but I don't know why for this weekend everyone was having so many issues, you know, like it was an experience to say the least, but I would love to come back here and like get to see more because I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface.
Yeah, we had a lot of recoveries out here this weekend, but that's part of the fun. That's part of off-roading, and anybody who's taken a 101 class, off-road 101 class, recovery is first and foremost. That's something that everybody needs to know, needs to learn, and needs to put into good practice, and this weekend was full of it.
Overall, it was great. It was a blast as always. You know, all these Great American Crawl trips are, you know, some of my favorite events to go to.
Next stop on the Great American Crawl is at Good Evening Ranch in West Virginia. If you want to join us on that stop, go ahead and text GAC 2022 to 54696, and there's a link you can fill out, get that filled out, and we'll send emails to let you guys know all the details on it. So it's free to attend. Come on out and have a great time with us.
Andy has another rear drive shaft, but his is a flange style, I think, or something. Remember we dealt with that, or we dealt with that when we were out there in Arizona.
Gotcha.
That's the end of that.